Hey Sonic fam, I'm just doing a random night. I didn't get a chance to work on the Peach, Misty, or Cammy statues at all. Plus I'm waiting for the, whatchamacallit, the chair to come in for Peach. I probably could show a picture of the chair. Let's see if I can find it. I had to sort of change it up. So, the chair's been printed. I had to change up the chair. Sadly, though, he had to cut it here. So I got to piece it together. But he was able to put a Bowser skull on top of the chair. So, at least that's pretty much printed. So I just got to wait for it to come in the mail. He had to print it hollow, of course, because printing it solid would be crazy. Yeah, the original chair that I was going to use wasn't going to work out. I think it was going to be way too big for the printer, so I had to find this one. But it should work pretty well. I think he said he's got to wait for it to be a sunny day. He's going to leave it outside too to really cure up. Hey Henry, how's it going? Things are good. Hopefully things are good on your end. Yeah, it'll go good with the Peach Dominatrix. Just a matter of when it comes in. Say, the only problem is it's like a 16-inch high chair. So it's going to be... Let's see, where's Peach at? Got stuff all over the floor. Yeah, so if Peach is... So Peach is about... Yeah, so Peach is about 18 inches high, so the chair is going to be about 16 inches, like to right here to her head. So it's a big chair. You know, I couldn't really go any higher because sadly, if we wanted to do a really big chair, it would have been way too big for the printer. But I think 16 inches should be fine, so going right up there. So it should look pretty good. Should be in scale. And I just got to get a better base for her when I get the chair, so I can sort of figure out how to get that set up. So I got still a little bit more to go. I just said I haven't had a chance to really sand these characters down at all. There was a lot of other stuff going on during last week. I'm hoping next week I can actually get some more stuff done. What I've been trying to do is get this blob and whatchamacallit, what's that, Toad kit ready for paints. There's a little bit of a pain in the ass, this kit. I didn't realize it had to change the shoulder, so it's caused a little bit more issues. But it's alright, we'll figure it out. Yeah, Peach worked out pretty good. It's a more of like a realistic body, but the head is from the other statue, so it kind of works. You know, I want to try to keep doing more stuff like this over the next couple years. Just kind of mix and match body parts. But she's pretty much like almost done. I just need to really clean them up. I need a good sunny warm day of just in the garage of fine tuning everything. Hey Devastator. I like this blob kit, but I didn't like this change of shoulder item. It's not really. It's a good idea, but it's a bad idea. Invincible? Not really. I mean, unless somebody commissioned me. I know there's a bunch of STLs of those characters coming out. If you go on to, I think it's Cults. If that's like a bunch of stuff you like. Yeah, so if you go to Cults here, there's a lot of Invincible stuff coming out. It's a whole bunch of characters in there. With 3D sculpting and printing now, it's kind of endless of what's being made. And there might be other Invincible stuff that's like coming out that's not even on that site yet. There's a lot of Patreon guys that still don't post everything on those sites. So hey Scott. Shit. It's not good. I got fucked up. Fuck. Oh, that got screwed up. This shoulder has been nothing but a pain. It really has. Damn it. I gotta redo this. Such a... damn. Yeah, well, AI is kind of there anyway, so... It's been one thing after another with this shoulder. Alright, let me go cut another rod, and I gotta try this again. Alright, sorry about that. Hey, raccoon. Alright, do this again. I only watched Invincible season 1, and The Boys. I haven't watched since I don't think I watched past season 2. But I've been kind of watching stuff on YouTube for the last season. I would probably say The Boys is a little bit more on the side of goriest and stuff, but because they throw a lot of sex stuff in there too and everything. But it's not really my type of shows. Not really into that type of hero type of stuff. I mean, I read the Boy comics, but I'm just not into the, I'm just not into the show, and it's too, I don't know, it's not my thing. The only thing I did find funny about The Boys is the Deep. Like, all the fish hate him now. So that was kind of funny. Like, I never even saw the last season of Gen V. I don't know, I just don't really, I don't get into that type of hero stuff. Well, I mean, if you like The Boys, you're probably gonna like Vault Rising, because Soldier Boy's gonna be, and they're prepping up the Vault Rising show. So I'm sure if you guys will probably enjoy that. I honestly, if I was to watch The Boys now, the only reason I would like to watch it is because of Soldier Boy, the guy who plays him. Like, the guy who plays Homelander is good, but I think Soldier Boy's character is better. I was gonna watch this season of The Boys, but it's not on those free sites, so I kind of just said, oh well. Is the last season out? I mean, the last episode out? Does it come out this weekend? I don't know when. I don't want to spoil anything either, because all I watch is stuff on YouTube for spoilers, so I don't know. Okay, well that got messed up. I've been working on the Akuma with with extra materials, so hoping I can start painting him up soon too. Oh, it's Wednesdays when it comes on? Okay. Alright, so the 20th is when the new Naruto Boruto issue comes out too, so keep that in mind. You know what I finished watching though? I saw what is it? I think is it Korean or Japanese? The Witch subversion, and then part 2, the other one. Have you guys ever seen that? Now those movies were awesome. I like that stuff better than The Boys, honestly. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's awesome. First one I only found in subtitles, but the second one they had a voiceover. It would be kind of better if Homelander doesn't die, but he becomes just like a regular human. That'd be kind of messed up. That's kind of my, that's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to do with him. Somehow make him a human. Because if they make him to be like, you know, the god to rule over the planet and he wins, which would be, I guess, in par with the boys. I don't know if they would go that route. It's possible. I just hope that Deep survives. I think his character is so damn funny. It'd be funny if, like, he survives, but he just can't use his powers ever again, too, as well. Well, because he can't really go in the water anymore. Yeah, it's a pretty cool raccoon. So you're gonna have like Liberty, Soldier Boy, and all those characters. And what was that guy? The bomb guy. It's all the guys who got V, not V1, but regular V. So they're pretty much all immortal. I thought Vault Rising is when just after Soldier Boy after they all got their V and they started becoming a team and fighting in wars and stuff. I thought that's what Vault Rising is about. That seems a little bit more interesting to me than the boys. So that's something I might watch. I guess I can't really show this on YouTube without getting in trouble. Yeah, I guess I can't show this. I'm working on Butterflies Custom. If it comes in, I can show it. I'll have to hide some parts. So I don't have much to work on. Everything I've been doing is kind of garage work. So for those who are late, I do have the chair printed out for Peach. So I just gotta wait for it to come in. I had to change up the chair though. The original chair I was gonna use was too big. So I found this one. So the guy who printed it out was able to put the Bowser skull up top for me, but he had to cut it here though. So gonna have to piece it together. But I figured that chair looks a little bit better. Because this was a little bit thinner chair, like width wise. The other chair was too wide, so to print it out would have been way too wide. So I've been kind of toying around with this item yesterday, my crystal. Trying to do some marks, and I figured maybe I can add a little bit more tonight. So I guess I should mix up some A's, because I figured I'd put a black strip here, and then I gotta figure out how to do the shoulder spot by keeping this removable. It's gonna be a little tricky, but coffee? Just in the morning. But if you watch YouTube drama, I don't buy coffee brand coffee though. I just get Wawa coffee. And if any of you watch YouTube drama, you would know what I'm talking about. I'm addicted to the YouTube drama. But I've been working late nights though on the work in progress video I'm going to post soon. Maybe by next week. The character I'm working on, she's almost ready for paint. So I got to edit some more of the videos. I really wanted to get that work in progress video series going earlier this year, but slowly getting there. Got a bunch of repairs coming in, stuff like that. So things are kind of moving. It's a long story, Raccoon. She's doing better, but still, it's the age thing. She's going back to rehab. She's leaving rehab finally next week. But that's a whole nother thing. Just age, you know, it's like just start falling apart more and more as you get older. So, not really much you could do at that point. And then, it's kind of funny. This is kind of my luck. This is why I was busy last week. My mother's leaving rehab, going back to assisted living soon. And then in June, middle of June, my father's going to have a knee replacement at the age of 87. Now, I told him he should have done it years ago, but he didn't want to do it. But right now it's bone on bone, so he can't even walk. So he's going into the hospital to do a surgery in middle of June. And then he's going to end up in rehab probably for a while. So that's why I've been telling all my family members, if you, all my cousins, like they're like in their 50s now, kind of like that age bracket. I'm like, if you need to do a hip replacement or a knee replacement, do it before you wait until your 70s and 80s like our parents did, you know? Yeah, see, Raccoon, it's hard, you know, like, I think it's not that getting old and falling is the problem. That's expected, but it's when you tell them that, like, look, I want you to do this so you don't fall, and they refuse to listen to you, That's the problem, you know? That's what sucks. Hey, Raz. You know, I just wish that they would listen to me, you know? But... yeah, see, that's the thing with my father. It's like, right now, it's so bad on bone that he can't, like, physically, like, walk really that much on it. So, the doctor says we could do a hip replacement. We've done it, I mean, a knee replacement. We've done it on older people than you. But it's going to be a little bit of a rehab, you know? It's not going to be like, go in, get it done, and you're back up and walking in like, you know, like nothing in a month. It's going to take a while for them. But, you know, it is what it is. Well, that's cool, Sonic. You know, Sonic, what you should do is you should take like a Marvel character, a DC character, and sort of morph it into like a Sonic or Shadow. Or take like a Sonic and make him like Captain America. You know, like one of those STL files. You know, you give a Sonic the Captain America outfit with a little shield. But you could put like a gold ring around it instead. Devastator, I think it's the age. I think it's that generation. I don't think it's just like as they get older. I think it's the generation that my parents are in. They're very stubborn and they don't want to listen to their kids at all. I think that's the problem. You know? Alright, I just rolled out that Aves in the garage, so give it a few. Yeah, Sonic, if you like Sonic characters, turn them into Marvel characters. Have fun with it. You know? Yeah, or you could do Sonic characters from Invincible, you know? Or you can make Sonic characters from The Boys. I don't know, just the possibilities are endless. Yeah, I would do it. If, you know, do something different, mess around with it, have fun. Hey, Raphael, how's it going? Yeah, it's going. It's going. So that's all I can really say. It's going. A good character for Homelander and the Sonic. I don't know much about Sonic, but isn't a doctor guy? You could put him as Homelander. Because he's kind of the villain, right? Alright, I gotta try to cut this edge. I'll be right back. Okay, got a strip here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, Devastator. A friend of mine tried a site where you can take an image and you can put it in, and they turn it into an STL file. Some of the images came out good, other ones were really, really bad. But it's getting there. It's getting there. I also been seeing more of these 3D printers that print in color now on Instagram. So that's kind of like that's coming up pretty fast too. I mean, they print in color cool, but they're not like quite like perfect yet, but they are printing colors. So Yeah, before you know it, everything's gonna be AI and automated, and we'll all just be sitting home, uh, getting fat like in Wall-E. Hey Raccoon, with the stuff you're going through with your mother, do you have someone watching her, or is it you guys are kind of like doing it in the house? Because my cousin's kind of been going through it with her mother-in-law lately too. Kind of, it's kind of been rough on them. Oh yeah, see that's what I was gonna suggest to you too. Yeah, because that was sort of suggested to me too from the beginning, but we went the route of going into assisted living. Because I know New Jersey sort of passed that, like sort of that where you take care of your parents and the state pays you type thing. I think they passed it a few years back. Yeah, my mother was like that too till I made her I said get up and open up a can of soup and prove me wrong. And when she couldn't do it, I said, see? The funny thing though is my father loves it. He absolutely loves the assisted living place. Because for him, he's like, I don't have to wake up and shovel snow. I don't have to cut the grass. You know, he's loving it. Yeah, that's the whole thing. What we had to do with the whole Medicaid situation. Like for those who don't know, it's called like a 2-year pay down. So if you end up going to assisted living, you got to pay 2 years, and then basically you become broke, and then Medicaid pays for the rest of it for your life, the rest of your life. So I'm learning more and more now that, like, as life goes on, before you get old, you got to start, like, hiding your money in trusts and stuff. Because this way, if you ever have to go into Medicaid, they do a 5-year look back. And then if they look back 5 years and they saw that you had no money, or, you know, you weren't giving away money as gifts, then you could go on to like Medicaid, you know, because you're technically broke. But if your house and your money is in a trust and it's been in there for like more than 5 years, they can't do anything to you. So for those who have kids and stuff, start thinking about that before you get too old. So the way it works, I think, is if you put your money into a trust, right, and then you get old to go into assisted living, you can use that trust money to pay down and they still can't do anything about it. And then after that you become broke and you can stay in the assisted living place. Like, I'm learning a lot of stuff as I go. And the funny thing is like, none of this is illegal. This is like how the system works. And the funny thing is, a lot of the wealthy people know about this, and that's how they get it. You know, how to use the system. So and the funny thing is like, a lot of people complain about the wealthy and rich people doing this. The information is out there. And if you actually look into it and you start doing it, you can do exactly what they do. So I'm learning as I go, because I'm even thinking, like, at some point when I get older, start seeing if I could do that type of stuff where if I ever have to go to assisted living, they can't take all the money. Because technically it's not mine, it's in a trust, you know? Hey, what's up, Terrell? This is the type of stuff you should learn in, like, you know, high school, you know? This is the type of stuff they should be teaching you, but God forbid they teach you how to work the system, you know? Yeah, Terrell, those videos you sent me were pretty good. I like those. Some good videos. It's kind of funny. A lot of those videos you sent me, like, Instagram doesn't want to show me those anymore. They used to come into my feed all the time and I would click on them, but lately it seems like Instagram doesn't want to share those too much. Yeah, send me a couple. I watch them whenever I get a chance. I usually like to watch them at night before I hit the bed. You know, I figure some good winding down material to listen to. I do like the new one I sent you about the new virus that they're trying to scare everybody with, just in time for midterms. Trying to create another pandemic. It's funny how there's always a pandemic or a war or something right before midterms and stuff like that. Yeah, that cracks me up. That's so funny. Like, I've tried to tell my friends about this all the time. I said there'll be another one right before midterms. Like, no, 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 and then sure enough, it's kind of funny. There's a guy. I don't know if you saw the video. He's talking about how this pandemic in the boat was really scary, and his family got sick and blah blah. It turns out that he was like he's one of those actors, and he was on. They found an old video of him crying about the previous pandemic. So it's like the internet doesn't forget. That's what cracks me up. Sorry guys, we're talking about conspiracy type stuff. All the kind of stuff I love. Yeah, you could send me links of the YouTube stuff. I love listening to that stuff while I work. It sucks though because a lot of the channels I used to watch, they all got axed off YouTube. Like I went through all my saved people I used to listen to and stuff. They're just gone. Even the coast to coast stuff doesn't come up on my feed, even though I'm subbed to them now. Yeah, I've been seeing all those scientists are getting taken out. They're all getting taken out, man. I've been watching a lot of the videos though of Tartaria, the civilization before us, and how they wiped all that history away. And I love looking at all the old World Fair stuff. Like, if you look up all the old World Fair stuff, the technology and buildings were amazing, but all of a sudden now it's all gone. You know? Yeah, I know. I love Coast to Coast. I grew up on the Coast to Coast stuff, especially when the internet really started, you know, taking off and everything. But my favorite one is the John Titor interview with Coast to Coast, the time traveler. That one I listen to all the time. I love that whole time, because I love time travel. So that one's my favorite. I downloaded that one because I listen to it every once in a while. David Icke, I used to listen to his stuff all the time too. Although I don't really think he does as much as he used to, right? Did he pass away? I don't even remember. It's been a while. Oh, the Barron Trump stuff? Yeah. Did you ever read the book? You should read the book if you get a chance. That's a whole crazy, that was a good one. The whole book. I like that one a lot. It's a crazy time traveler theory. And I love time travel. That's like my like, I could watch time travel movies like day in and day out. I love them. Oh, really? You only heard about the Baron? Oh, yeah. That came out like when he first ran for president. And I think my brother got the book, and then I read it. It was a good read. Really cool. I mean, you heard about how it was Trump's what was his father? What was his father's name? Not John Trump? I think it was John Trump, right? He went into Nikola Tesla's after the CIA sent him into Nikola Tesla's workshop and everything after he passed away, and he saw that it was time travel stuff, and he told the CIA that there was nothing there, but he took the technology. Trump's uncle? Okay, it was his uncle. Okay. Well, if there is time travel and there's a God, then he's allowing it then. You know? But then again, that goes into... so have you heard of a lot of the new time travel theories now? Because even Stephen Hawking talks about it. Is that we don't actually... Because that's like the John Titor story. That he... it's not that you actually go back in time, you go into an alternate universe. So he said it was like when you're in sitting in the barbershop and you're looking at the mirror in front of you, but then you see the mirror behind you and you see thousands of mirrors. So when you go back in time, you're not actually going back in your time, you're hopping into a parallel universe. That's like a fraction of a difference. You know what? I think I have that John Titor saved. I'll link it right now. Hold on. It's a good listen to. It's on the Coast to Coast. I think this is the best time travel theory out there. Where is my playlist?
So let me tell.
Alright, so it's a good. I listen to this all the time. It's good. This is a good listen if you got if you're working on something. Where is it? Come on. Because in the John Titter was like, he talked more about Y2K and how Y2K was you know, messed up his planet. I mean, his Earth. Where the hell is it? Here it is. So that's a good listen too. So if you guys want to listen to about time travel, that was big too. That and I didn't even know about that until it was like way after like God, I can't remember when I listened to that video. It was a while. That's a good listen to if like you're working on a statue or you're doing some painting and you don't want to actually like watch a video but listen to something. That's a good video right there. It's a good listen to. And if you like Coast to Coast, it's good. I probably linked that in chat a while back when we were talking about time travel and stuff, but it's just one of my favorite ones to listen to. Alright, let me go cut the other piece. Alright, that did not cut the way I wanted it to. Yeah, it's a good listen to. But if you have any, if you find any, that goes for anyone in chat. If you ever find any cool conspiracy videos, but that's something I can actually listen to, you're more than welcome to link it to me on Instagram or something. Anything that I can kind of listen to while I'm working. Yeah, Scott, I watch a lot of those police cam. I saw, damn, if I remember it, Scott, I'll save it for next video. I'll have to find it again. There was this one video I saw where a guy was getting pulled over, and then he started screaming "Ma" to the phone, and his mother was in the phone screaming at the police, and he's driving around the gas station, and there's a cop inside the car trying to stop the guy. It was the funniest video in the world. It reminded me of the Will Ferrell on Wedding Crashers when he was going, "Mom, meatloaf." It's one of the funniest friggin' videos I've ever seen. If I remember, I'll save it. Well, Devastated. If you, like I said, if you get anything, that's cool. You send it to me on Instagram. I'll if I can listen to stuff while working, I'll do it. Just if you send them though, make sure they're somewhat interesting. If I sometimes those like videos where you get those monotone guys and they're just like this, and they kind of start putting you to sleep. Those I can't handle. But all right, let me roll this out and cut it. I think what's going on now with the whole scientist thing, and I think it has a lot to do with like what's coming out. I've been looking into a lot of like the energy situation, which is like I've been watching videos about the silver battery type stuff, where that's going to sort of revolutionize the energy, you know, with batteries and EVs and everything. And it's going to put a strain on like the oil industry for making money. So I have a funny feeling that these scientists, and I think they're creating like ways that are going to make just, you know, everything better, but the corporations don't want that, you know. So I'm thinking there's something going on, but then there's the other side of the coin that maybe they're not actually being killed off. Maybe they're being abducted and they're using like those clone body type crap. Because they're using them for something big coming. I don't know. There's definitely something going on. I just, I always think it's like, I don't know, it's weird. I just see a lot of information coming out about all this silver battery stuff and how it's going to change the industry. And I just think a lot of the scientist stuff and everybody with this stuff is kind of come to be, you know. Well, Telsa was kind of from that whole Tartarian or Tartaria generation, I guess. You know, because they supposedly that civilization of humans before us had like free energy. You know. Yeah, Scott. I think a lot of the scientists out there, like, you know, they have like cures, they have all this stuff coming, but the powers that be are just like, no, we can't have that go out there, you know? I mean, let's face it, the more we're sick, the more money they make. But, like always, whenever something's going on here, always look on the opposite direction, you know? Like, everyone's focused on the war. What's going on over here, you know? What's going on there? What's going on, you know? It's always like a magic trick. Whenever they tell you to focus on this, you gotta focus on what's going on. Just like, alright, for instance, they were telling everybody to get out of AI stocks, like what, like 2 months, 3 months ago? They were telling everybody, sell your AI, it's going to crash. It was the same thing they said about the dot-com era, right? And I guess a lot of people were getting scared and they sold all their AI stocks, and now all of a sudden the AI stocks are booming like crazy right now. So, once again, you know, they tell you what to do and people panic instead of holding out and doing the opposite. So that's why I have a funny feeling a lot of these scientists are coming up with a lot of stuff and they're like, we can't let this information out unless they can control it, you know? Just like the pandemic, you know, they didn't want anybody taking those all that medicine that's been around forever, and they called it bad medicine, don't take it, but people who took it were doing better than anything else. Well, yeah, they don't want anyone to look at it, you know? If the masses people start talking about it, then they're gonna run into trouble. They'll probably come after us just for talking about it, you know? Like that guy messing with resin, he's opening his mouth again. We gotta off him. I think with the whole energy thing, I think there's rumors of the silver battery and the salt battery. So I feel like they're trying to keep people from learning about that stuff. Because there's also rumors of a salt battery now, and if like, you know, saltwater batteries was a thing, I mean, Christ, it's everywhere on the planet, you know? So I also heard, like it's not front page news, but I heard like Russia now is buying up silver like crazy. So there's got to be some kind of silver technology coming out that we don't know about yet. It's kind of crazy how that's like what's been coming up a lot that I've been looking into. Why couldn't it be like resin, some kind of resin technology where all our statues would be worth millions, you know? Hey Jacob, did you get the statue? I completely forgot to email you. I had so much other crap going on. I'm wondering if it came in yet. I think right after I sent it, I think the next day is when I had some stuff come up and I completely lost track. Okay. Well, as long as it's there, that's good. So I didn't hear from you, so I was kind of thinking like, crap. I hope it didn't get delayed or something, or. But that's kind of the way things are going for everybody these days. Oh, good. I'm glad. All right. So no damages or nothing. That was kind of like when I first packed her up. I packed it so friggin' tight. Like when I had to open it up to check her again, I was sitting there like, oh my god. I was like, how the hell did I pack this thing? So when I wrapped it back up for you again, I had to sort of change it up a little bit. The only thing is, I think you probably noticed she might have a little smell to her, and I think that was just because she was wrapped up for so long. But it should go away though. That was probably because of the white stuff we used on the base. Oh no, I have packing stuff like crazy in the garage, so I always make sure I overpack for anybody when there's no box, you know. I rather be safe than sorry. So, but I'm glad you finally have her and she's on your shelf. That was a long time in the making, I guess you can say. Okay, good. Yeah, it was probably a lot of the foam and the wrap and everything. But like I said, I just like to make sure stuff comes safe and sound. Oh shit, does this have to be a little bit further? There, and shit. This is gonna come up. Yeah, I guess it has been that long. Damn. Hey Joe, how's it going? You saw Nick's email? I'm sure you did. I don't think it would melt. I think if you do a very light thing on it, it should probably be fine. I doubt it would melt. That didn't look right. I gotta do this again. I'll get this right one way. I think it was pushed back too far. It's got to come up a little further here. Alright, roll this out again. Reason why is because this wouldn't line up correctly over here. I'm sure it'll work out. It's just a matter of maybe I should send him an email when he prints it to maybe print a couple. If you can, Joe, send him an email when he prints it to print up maybe like 2 or 3 extras as well, just in case I break them, because I'm probably gonna have to like need one of them to sort of put in and out of the hair and stuff, and then it might get messy. So I didn't even think of that till just now. Alright, let's try this again. This is a personal custom of mine. This is Crystal, fantastic for Inhumans, Johnny Storm's wife. Something I've been kind of messing around with because I don't have the stuff. Basically, I didn't get anything done last week, so I figured let me mess around with this for tonight. I've been sitting on this forever, and I'm kind of been using a little extra material here and there on it. It's kind of a simple custom, so I figured let me work on her a little bit here and there. I needed like a day or two just to do personal stuff, just to kind of unwind. So I figured mess around a little bit. So this can come a little bit further here. And kind of. I have to turn it a bit, so it's that looks a little bit better. Then once I get Joe's glasses for the Gwen, I can get her finished up. Sadly, it was one of those things that kind of delayed me and us on the project. It's alright though, we'll get it done. We'll get it there. I don't know, it's kind of funny, Joe. That whole debacle you went through is it's just crazy. I couldn't even. I mean, I would think that most sculptors would kind of take the feedback and run with it, but I guess he just didn't get it. So. I don't know. It's a funny, sad situation. It really is. Like I hate to laugh about it, but like I guess now you have no choice to. But it is a shitty situation. But in a way, it's kind of like a blessing because you found a new guy to make your sculpts and they're amazing. So it's kind of like it sucks, but it's good at the same time, I guess, you know. Yeah, that's I don't know, I can't, like, when it comes to awards, it's hard to, like, I don't know, like, I don't really value awards, like, for art type stuff, like, you know, like, to me, they don't make, I don't know, I know a lot of people out there, and, like, sculptors and painters, they love awards, and which is fine. For me, I don't. I kind of value, like, well, if you're gonna pay me money to give you something, I think that's more valuable than winning an award. But I think people who would just like to do it as a hobby is it's fine, you know. Um, but I guess however he entered or whatever kind of contest it was, you know, you never know how they judge stuff. You don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird situation. I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of it's just so weird. But I'm just glad the guy you got now working on your stuff is doing an amazing job. You know, they look so much better. The anatomy looks better. You know, the proportions and it's just working better now. Because I mean, you saw what I had to do to the Gwen. You know, I pretty much almost reworked most of it. Well, that could be true, or it could be maybe his was the top tier stuff. You don't know if it was a lower class, like, awards. You never know who's looking at the stuff. Like I always said, there's sort of collectors out there who see the character but don't see the sculpt, and then there's people out there who see the sculpt more than the character. So whoever was doing the awards was probably just looking at the character and not the actual sculpt. That's probably what was going on. If you see what I'm trying to say. Yeah, for those who are kind of wondering, Joe's found a new sculptor to work on stuff, and he sends me the sculpts. And sometimes what I do in Photoshop, kind of sort of like, whenever like my friends or somebody sends me like somebody's digital sculpt, usually like, so if I look at something, and I see like this leg muscle pops out at me before I see anything else, that usually tells me that there's something wrong there. Or like, say the arm seems to be too small or the face is too big, you know, like whenever I look at something, I look at that, whatever jumps out at me right away, then I look at it and then I kind of do in Photoshop and I show Joe or my friends like, hey, tell the sculptor to kind of tweak that. And then usually they do and it works out. It's easier to do it in Photoshop to show somebody than explain it. And usually you can see better than what you're trying to explain. Yeah, like I said, Joe, it's you just gotta laugh at it right now. You know, there's nothing more you could do anymore. It's kind of, at this point, it's just funny. It wouldn't be funny if you lost all your money and you were never getting anything good out of the new guy. Then it would be like, God damn, it's just a shit show. But it's working out for the best now, so. Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I do love the Sable, though. The Sable is looking great. The armored one. That one looks awesome. You know what it'll be, though? It'll be like an on-running joke for you, though. He'll be contacting you every year and keep telling you that, you know, he's ready to do more work for you. So at least there'll be some comedy to it. You'll be like 85. You know, you'll be in like an assisted living place, and the dude will still be contacting you. Be like, yeah, I'm ready to do some work for you. I mean, yeah, I mean, after what the guy did for you with Wonder Girl, you know? I mean, I still say that Wonder Girl is amazing. Yeah, I think as long as he fixes the gaping leg like I showed you, and you said he did fix it, right? Well, I'm losing track. I think that was the only thing that really like jumped out at me in the beginning. You know, when you sent me the pic. But other than that, I really didn't see much anything else that was like, oh my god, you got to fix that. I think that was like the only thing. The head sculpts are looking good. I think it's just the coloring, the 3D coloring, kind of throws them out of whack sometimes. Sometimes just looking at it black and white's better. Did the factory finish painting them? I don't remember if you showed me any factory paint-ups of it. Like I said, I'm losing track of everything. Been getting a lot of emails for repairs lately, so I'm trying to keep everything organized. Alright, well when you get updates and stuff, send them to me. Damn, I was hoping a butterfly would pop in today. I want to go over his item with him. is all this stuff? I want to have some fun with the... I could do regular gloves. Oh, so would she... That drawing... Let's see, she's got different types of... I mean, I'm doing my own little outfit on her, but... I guess we'll just do black gloves. Gotta decide what I want to do. I'll do that. Gonna have to think of what I'm gonna do with these gloves. I don't know how I want to do them yet. But my idea is to sort of, she's got the water, like the earth powers, like water, wind, and fire and stuff. So I was thinking of maybe like finding some kind of 3D water file, and then maybe like fire file. Kind of like put them together, coming down. I gotta see it. I'm pretty sure there's something on those files I can print out. But for right now, I just want to work on her item. The shoulder is what I'm trying to figure out the most. I mean, now that I did this part, I might go ahead and just take out the magnet and attach her shoulder instead. And just make this part removable. Because I figured it would have been a nightmare to get under here, but since I already did it, maybe I'll just go ahead and just attach the arm. But I definitely got to give her a little bit more of a booty crack, though. I gotta give her a little bit more of a butt crack. It's too flat there. I'm thinking, like, so she is known for earth, water, and fire elements. You know, wind. So I think the idea would be one hand have like a water trail coming up, and the other one have fire, but maybe mix like a little bit of wind and dirt in with it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. Like, I could go on like CG Trader and see if I could find some kind of curled water, some kind of curled fire, print it out in 3D, you know, print it out in clear resin. And then just sculpt like dirt with it and maybe a little wind going around. And just kind of have it like sort of just all over type thing. I don't know. Shovel ass, that's what it's called? I love this sculpt. It's just that I just didn't like the Catwoman. But it was I got, like I said, I think I got this from Sideshow. and I think it was on second chances on Sideshow. So I got it from Sideshow for like $200 because I had points. So I got it on seconds, and I got points. So it was like $200 shipped, and then when it came in the mail, the arm was broken and the head was broken. Or wait, no, the arm was broken and something else was broken. So Sideshow kind of refunded me a couple more bucks, so it worked out. So she's been sitting in the shelf all this time, and I figured let's kind of... I need to do something for myself. I haven't done something for myself in a while. Shovel ass? That's kind of funny. Yeah. I'm not going to do a huge crack, but just a little bit more. And then I might add a little, like, extra wrinkles to make it look a little tighter. But I love the sculpt, though. The sculpt is awesome. But it's a simple custom. She's not too crazy, except she's yellow though, so painting yellow is always a pain in the ass. The only reason why I like the character though is I played that game Future Fight, Marvel Future Fight on the iPad, and she was one of the characters in there. And she wasn't a powerful character, but her gameplay was so much fun. And I ended up using her all the time, and the guys I was playing with were always laughing. They're like, dude, she's one of the worst characters, but I made her work. And then I just liked her outfit, and I was like, you know what? I want a statue of her now. So, it's only because of Future Fight. I never read about her in the comics, so. I think she'll look cool when she's done. Something a little different on the shelf. I would love this arm to be removable, but the only way to get that shoulder looking good is going to be a pain. But where's her head? Head's over here, so here it is. I figured once I sort of get the main body done, I'll attach her head. This is the same head for the Misty. So this head will go on there, and then I can sculpt the hair. I'll have to attach the head permanent though, because she doesn't really have like a choker or anything. Alright, so we'll kind of put her aside. So one thing I've been working on too with a lot of filler, resin and eaves and whatever the hell else I have, is this Akuma. So whenever I had extra materials lately, I've been, I figured I want to get to the point where maybe I can paint him up on like streams at night during the weeknights this summer. But I ran into a little bit of an issue. So I got his legs on, and I magnetized the bottom of his feet into the base. So, and then this is all filled in with regular foam. The only problem I'm running into is this goes like this, and this piece connects on here pretty cool. But the only problem is when you put this piece on here, it's not perfect. And I don't think it's not the printer's fault. It's the way it's engineered. Like, there's a lot of gappage under here, and it doesn't like, it's not like where it should be. So the problem I'm running into on this one is, do I paint it up and then do I try to piece it together, fill this in, and then try to touch up the paint, or do I just go ahead and attach everything and then try to get paint underneath it here? Because the only problem is trying to get paint underneath the shoulders. So that's kind of what I'm running into. It's a kind of a, I don't know how, I want this to be perfect, but to try to get paint under here is going to be hard, but that might be the better way of doing it. Hold on, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Yeah, so this one's a little tricky. I mean, I got everything else situated. It's his waist that's the problem. This is magnetized. If I can get this in correctly, it goes this way, right? What is this? This one was a little tricky. That goes there like that, like he's ripping off his shirt. And then his hands here. I love the statue. It's just that I think it maybe just go ahead and put it together and not worry about, you know, getting paint under here. I'll just do my best. This is for me anyway. It's not like I'm doing this for anybody, because the guy gave it to me as a gift. So I'm thinking maybe just go ahead and attach the body to this piece and just paint it the best I can. Because it just, see, this is going to bother me, this little part here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Like, this little piece sticking off right here is going to bother me. So I would rather put I would like to put Aves there, kind of filling it. And then there's that little piece back here too. You know, this little piece here, that'll bother the hell out of me. That'll bother me more than trying to paint underneath the back of him. And I think I want to paint him dirty too. I don't want him to be like a clean paint. I want to make him like dirty. So yeah, I think maybe I'll just attach it. Screw it. Trying to paint him and then put it together and then trying to touch it up and add Aves and sand. I don't know if maybe, I don't know if that's even worth it. I think if it was just like a little piece to do, I would paint it and then touch it up. But since I want all this underneath to be even, because it doesn't look right, and I got this chunk of A's here, so screw it. I'm gonna attach them. I think that'll be the best bet. I guess just the best way to do it, we just put like A's in there and then try to get paint in there and wait, there's still some other stuff I didn't touch up. Damn it, I don't know what to do on this one. Like if I paint the body, right, and then I paint the outfit, I would have to focus on all this and then touch it up. Yeah, maybe I should do that then. Yeah, screw it. Alright, I'll have to do a paint and build on this one. But I'll make sure that if I dirty him up, I'll make mistakes and that'll be fine. Because there's some stuff I didn't sand down in here. I did fill up the holes that went for his necklace because I'm going to make wooden beads. Yeah, this one, I think what it is I think they keyed this a little bit wrong. I think they keyed it thinking that you could paint it and then glue it together and attach it, but for some odd reason, I don't think it was cut correctly down here. I think that was the problem. I mean, the sculpt is awesome. I think it's just a matter of... See, I like the rope on his belt. If the rope was crappy, what I would do is I would actually chisel... If there wasn't a texture either, if they didn't do texture on this, I would actually chisel off the rope. And I would actually re-sculpt that, and I would do my own like rope. Tie my own rope around it, but since this is all texturized, I don't want to mess with it. So I think this is going to be a paint and build, because it's going to be a nightmare to get under there. So, oh well. I'll have to make sure that however I paint up his skin, I'll have to save the paints, and I'll have to definitely mix up a blue-gray and save the bottle for his outfit. So that's what I got to do with that now. But I really want to do this paint up, you know, maybe like during weekdays, just like a chill stream and paint. But that's the other thing is I don't like, where's the ball necklace? Here it is. This is the necklace that came with it, and it was, you know, it came with two little prongs to go in here, and I figured I could make wooden ones that would look better. If you're gonna have an Akuma statue, it's got to be actual wooden balls. You know, it can't be like resin. So, and I missed these two little spots here on the back of his neck where they're supposed to rest. I think I'd be really frustrated with this kit if I paid for it. But since the guy I know gave it to me, I'll deal with it. But I really want to get it done. I need an Akuma statue in my collection again. Remember when those Pop Culture Shock Street Fighters came out? And they were like all the rage back in the day? I don't know if you guys know. Like, everybody was going crazy for having the Street Fighter Pop Culture Shock. So I had the Akuma regular, and I had the Shin Akuma one. And I remember my regular Akuma, I sold it to a guy for, I think, $1,700. And back then, that was a lot of money for a statue. And my Shin Akuma, Some guy wanted it in a worse way, and I think he offered me $2,200 for it at the time. And I said, it is yours, because I knew then that they weren't going to last for that price forever. And then sure enough, as time went on, they started going down, and then it got to the point where nobody really cared for them anymore. I did the Shinakuma custom for a guy, and he told me some guy offered him $6,000 for it. I said, did you sell it? He's like, no, man. He's like, I'm never selling that. I go, dude, $6,000. You could sell that to that guy. You could buy another Akuma statue, because at the time they were probably like, you know, $1,500, $1,700 or whatever. You could commission me to do another one for you, and you would still make out ahead afterwards. But he wouldn't sell it. And I think after a certain amount of time, I saw it on eBay, and it was like trying to sell it for like $700. I was like, dude, you should have friggin' sold it. That's like, I don't know if you guys remember the Phoenix from XM Studios, the Jean Grey, when that came out. When that statue came out, everybody wanted it. That was like the holy grail. And I remember people were selling that thing for like $6,500. And I know a guy near me, he had one. And he said somebody offered him $6,200. And I was like, dude, sell it. He's like, no, man, I can't sell it. This is like the grail. I'm like, dude, in another 3 or 4 years, they'll be making better ones, you know? And he didn't sell it. And now I think it goes for like $400 or something on eBay. I don't know, I always think that if somebody's gonna give you a good price for it, do it. Unless it's like a sentimental thing and it's like, you know, somebody gave it to you and it's like a holy grail and it's different, but alright, I'm going to get this guy ready for paint-ups, so hopefully in another 2 weeks, maybe I can start painting him up. Starting to get that paint itch again where I want to start painting stuff. I don't think so. I think the Jessicas are still up there. I don't know. Let me look on... Oh, excuse me. Let me look on eBay real quick. There's one up there for $2,000. One up there is for $5,000. Another one's for $3,000. There's the CBS Labs one is for $2,000. But that's, are they selling? What are they selling for? So one sold for $2,000, 22. So they're selling for about $2,000 to $16,000. But did you guys see this here? Let me see if I can link this for you. This is this is that CBS Labs Jessica. I think it was CBS Labs. I wonder if people have been recasting it. But that's not Sideshows though. That there's one of them sold on eBay. Yeah, it's not much of that going on. I don't think the Jessicas will ever go down unless they really they make something new. And then why is this not coming off? Okay, I haven't touched this since last stream, so I guess it kind of sticking pretty well here. Oops, I guess he bonded in there a little bit. Alright, I'll have to leave him alone. Let me go get this baby powder out of this. I guess I forgot to check him when we finished up last time, so his head sort of locked into place. Let's see if I can pop him out. Pop him out without snapping anything. Alright, have to do a little Dremel work on that. Alright. I think the only thing I should do is maybe the hair on his arms, because I guess he has hairy arms, so I'll kind of fake some arms here, like hair on it. I think that'll look kind of little like Blanca arms. Next weekend, Memorial Day weekend? Or is it the weekend after? Or is it... It's not this weekend, right? I forget when Memorial Day is. Let me look. Because, what's today? No, not... Yeah, next weekend. Next weekend. Alright, so that means... when all the traffic starts. Hey JC, how you doing? Hanging in there too. Taking it one day at a time. I gotta take some of this down because it rose a little too high. So. Might have to try to see if I could, depending on how things go over the next few weeks, maybe what I could do is find some school supplies I could put around here and then kind of attach them in and then glue it down too. So if you look in there, you might see like a couple school things. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I need to really kind of get these things cleaned up. I got a question for you guys. I am working on the next work in progress series for YouTube, and part 1 of the video is my prep video, but the only thing is it's a 2.5 hour video. Do you think that's too much, or do you think it should just leave it alone and let people kind of watch it at their own pace? Because sadly I kind of tried to do like filming of the whole process, and I didn't realize it would be that long. Yeah, I'll check some miniatures at Michael's. I have to take a run to Lowe's within the next week. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to Michael's and see if they got any small miniature stuff. If they do, I could utilize that for this. Alright, because I've been editing the video, and after I shortened it as much as I could, it came out to like 2 hours. But the other videos so far aren't as long, but it's just the prep video. I kind of wanted to give people like an idea on how, like, what I'm thinking of and how long it's going to be. So that's kind of... I was just kind of curious if you thought maybe that was too much, or if it's not really a big deal. Alright, then maybe I'll leave it alone. Because I think I'm going to post it in probably another week. Maybe Memorial Day weekend. Because I want to get the item ready for paint before I start posting anything. So I got, let's see, I got part 1, which is the prep, then I got part 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it's going to be like a 6-part series. But the last part will be the paint video, I guess. I just wasn't sure if, like, you know, that would be, because I know a lot of guys, like, well, a lot of people on YouTube now are kind of more into the, whatchamacallit, short stuff, but alright, I guess I'll just leave it alone then. Get alright, I'm gonna have to set this differently. This is gonna hit if I do it. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this in the garage another time. Till then, we gotta putty some of this up. I didn't have time to sand down Cammie's skirt either, so she's kind of hasn't changed since last week or the week before. So what I'll do is I need to make a day. It's always an emergency. That's why I always never get stuff done. It's always something. Yeah, so she'll look pretty good next to that chair. So those who don't know, or the chair is printed at 16 inches. So it's going to be about sort of like this tall behind her. So it's going to be a big chair behind her. I know, sadly, the way it's at the bottom, but the original chair was just way too big to print for her scale. We probably would have had to cut it like at the top and then like down the center, and it just would not have worked. That's the sad thing. But I think this should be fine behind her. Worst case scenario, what I could do is I could always put some kind of stands and raise it up too if we needed to. You know, like some kind of like stands underneath. If it looks too low to the ground. But I think it should be fine. It's about almost, what, looks like about 11 inches so. So it's going to be, I think it'll be fairly big behind her, you know. So if we have to raise it, we can raise it. When I get it in, if I need to raise it, we'll grab something and we'll kind of make it a little bit taller. I don't want to make it too tall, so as long as it's not like 23 inches tall, but if it goes anywhere up to like 18, I think we'd be fine. So if we had to raise it like 2 inches, I think it'll work out. And you figure, do like a nice, maybe, I don't know, like, could do a pink chair, or we could do like a pink and black, like her outfit, and make it like a leather, or make it a dark, like, brown leather, so it doesn't fight with her. So maybe like a black, brownish leather texture to it, or a deep red. Maybe a deep red or a deep black. I think would look kind of cool. Alright, so since I got a little A's left, I don't want to waste it. So I don't know why this was like designed this way. Like it should have been like a deeper crevice for the body to go into instead of being flat the way it was. And then they designed it where it was like hollow here. So it's a very weird design. Not that it's the end of the world, but I kind of just been like shoving eaves in between here. Figure at least use some extra eaves whenever I'm done to give it a little bit more support instead of just kind of being hollow and no, my luck put it together and it cracks or falls or something. Not that it would, but I just figure not waste any material. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to call a stream. I'm kind of tapped for today. Don't really have much else to work on. So I know I keep saying I want to get these girls ready for paints and stuff, but I'm hoping I don't have any damn more emergencies next week. I need a good day of sanding, because I got to sand that blob as well. But, alright, well you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully it's a good one. Looks like now it should be a good weekend.